The Trump White House holding its first official press briefing today. Despite opening with a joke, Press Secretary Sean Spicer was grilled relentlessly by reporters for over an hour, prompting him to get right to the point. Watch.
It's not about one tweet. It's not about one picture. It's about a constant theme. It's about sitting here every time and being told, no, well, we don't think he can do that. He'll never accomplish that. He can't win that. It won't be the biggest. It's not going to be that good. The crowds aren't that big. He's not that successful. The narrative and the default narrative is always negative. And it's demoralizing.
It's demoralizing. With me now to discuss Evan Siegfried and Joe Concha. That was his reply. That was Sean Spicer's reply after the third time a reporter brought up Saturday where there was some dispute about the crowd size. He came out, more or less chastised the press, walked away. It wasn't really a press conference per se. And of course, they kept going at him and going at him. And I was shocked that he said that the whole thing was sort of demoralizing, because to a degree it almost humanized Donald Trump in a sense that here's this giant figure that everything bounces off of, but essentially saying, hey, after a while, these things, they bother us because you guys have been on the attack from day one.
Even after the inauguration address. 2 minutes in, ABC's Terry Moran, MSNBC's Chris Matthews, Rachel Maddow, they brought up one name, not Donald Trump, not Ronald Reagan, Adolf Hitler. And they kept comparing Trump to Hitler because he uses a slogan called America First, without playing Trump's speeches over and over again where he is making an argument for economic protectionism. Has nothing to do with race. So that's why it's demoralizing, because even at the moments where the media should be swooning a little bit, guy just gave an inauguration address. It's a 45th president. Should be a happy time. And instead, you're evoking Hitler.
Right.
And then Martin Luther King, a bust in the White House. It's reported by Time Magazine's Zeke Miller that it was removed. You know how sensitive that is? And they say, well, oh, he apologized for it. Well, a lie can go halfway around the world before the truth can get its pants on.
I think it can go all the way around.
Right, and that's why it's demoralizing, because it's always negative. I agree with them.
It's always negative. And I guess one of the ironies to this, then, America First, people who understand history know that there have been a couple political parties in this country. One years back that was supposedly anti-Semitic. Donald Trump and his team probably know about that, but to Joe's point, what they're trying to say is that, hey, in this particular context, we understand our role in this world, but we've lost our way because we've supported the rest of the world at the detriment of Americans.
Yes, I think the Trump team could have made a better argument or a better slogan from the outset, because as a Jew myself, it was a little bit, it put me back on my heels and maybe say, not the best one.
But does that slogan from here on forever, does it always have to be identified with an obscure political party from 100 years ago? Or can it be reapplied with a different meaning?
Because other politicians have used it.
I would hope that we could reapply it, but considering within the campaign the anti-Semitism that came out from the alt-right, that makes it a little bit more sensitive. However, what Donald Trump should focus on, and Sean Spicer himself, they should pivot. They should go out and say, all right, we're here to really talk about the big issues. We're here to talk about not what the slogan is, but what the results will be. And we're going to do this. We could talk about his infrastructure plan. He could talk about how he had just pulled out of TPP today via executive order.
Well, do you feel that today's press conference was that pivot? Do you feel like it's somewhere there was it's sort of a reversion, if you will? It felt like there was maybe that point, that pivot point, during the course of this press conference, and I think it was when Sean Spicer talked about how demoralizing this nonstop attack on Donald Trump has been from the time he came down on the escalator.
I think the pivot actually came when Sean Spicer walked out and made the self-deprecating joke about him from Saturday night and how he will never be the most popular press secretary like Josh Earnest was. That endeared him to the press corps, and he was able to then go out and put out a very factual list of accomplishments that President Trump had made in his first 3 days in office. So that was a win for the Trump team with Spicer's first debut.
Joe, it's just, you know, I mean, we've seen this thing. It's been unrelenting from Hollywood actors to reporters. And do you think it'll change at all? Do you think no matter what, this will change? Is this it? This is what we're going to have to endure for the next 4 years?
Follow the money, Charles. This is a money show, right? Making money? Follow the money. The money leads to clicks here. clicks, ratings. And attacking Donald Trump is very good for certain businesses.
Even if he dresses you down in front of everyone in a press conference, Jim Acosta, for instance, are they trying to, for instance, CNN, make Jim Acosta some sort of sympathetic figure? Because I saw a tweet today, oh, they haven't gone to Jim Acosta yet.
Yeah, I called out. That was Brooke Baldwin, who was an anchor, by the way.
Right.
So 45 minutes in, Jim Acosta hasn't been asked a question. So then I retweeted it out with a message saying, oh, by the way, during President Obama's first 36 solo press conferences, Fox News wasn't called on 22 times. Not everybody gets a trophy in these situations. Not everybody gets a question. And if you're an anchor, stop whining about that.
Joe's also right, because you saw many reporters complaining that the AP wasn't given the first question.
I saw
It was
that.
the New York Post.
Yeah.
They thought that the sacred cow, which clearly the Constitution outlines that the AP gets the first question at any press briefing, was somehow violated.
There's a new sheriff in town. By the way, I thought Sean did an amazing job today. He answered so many questions. He was patient and he was humorous.
Don't you think Kevin looks a little like Sean
Appreciate it.
Spicer? Can we just get a quick close-up?
Maybe the stunt double.
A little bit of a better tailor.
When they do the movie,
better tailored.
he can do the stunt scenes. All right, guys, let's leave it there. Coming up.